today was a really low energy day. I emptied the dishwasher, I filled the dishwasher, and took a shower. And that was all the energy I had. Mental illness is weird. Anyway, something I wanted to speak on was this thing that's been going on in the YouTube help forums. People are screaming about seeing this Gillette commercial and how it's, it's anti-men and our masculinity is being insulted and they're trying to turn us into a bunch of pansies and all this other stuff. And I'm absolutely baffled at how people could get so riled up over these ads, which I think are very cool. Gillette is putting out a very important message. And it's really very simple. It's just, guys, you may not be what would be defined as toxically masculine, although there are quite a few of them out there, but men as a whole can make an effort to be better people. And that's all they're saying. They're not saying you're a bad person, but they're saying that there are bad ones out there, and they are saying that every single one of us can help deal with those bad ones. Other people are saying that, Gillette is trying to say that all masculinity is toxic, and no, that's not what they're saying. And I'm going to use an analogy regarding frogs. Frogs, on the whole, are completely benign, innocuous, normal creatures, and some of them are actually quite pretty and cute. If you've ever... Go look up White's tree frog. There's one picture out there. It's a White's tree frog, and he's got his front paws, hands. Legs? What do you call feet? Something like that. He's got his front whatevers, kind of like this up under his chin, and he just looks like he's got this really satisfied, slightly evil grin on him. He's like some sort of supervillain. It's a really great picture. I used to have a White's tree frog. Very, very cute little fat-looking frog. Sometimes they're also called dumpy tree frogs. It was very, very, very quiet unless we were watching a movie. And if there was a lot of bass, like we had a subwoofer, so we could actually enjoy our movie sound properly. If there was a lot of bass and the sound hit a certain resonance, he would start croaking. And a creature this big was able to drown out my 400-watt stereo system that I miss terribly because I don't have it anymore. He was loud. It was incredible. Unfortunately, he died quite a while ago. But when we bought him, the pet store was like, yeah, he's already like 10 years old, so he's only got a couple of years left in him. And I was like, that's fine. I'll give him a home until he goes. So I did. Anyway, I totally bunny trailed there. Frogs. So, generally benign creatures. There's a lot of them. They come in different shapes and sizes and colors and, whatever. And then there are the ones that are poisonous. Now, these poisonous frogs, if a frog is poisonous, it is horribly poisonous. Like, it doesn't matter, what kind of poisonous frog you're touching. If you're touching that frog, something bad is going to happen. You're either going to go on a trip where you're seeing all sorts of fancy colors and, it's not going to be a fun time, or you'll be, on the other end of the extreme, you'll be slowly paralyzed and trapped in your own body, unable to breathe, move, speak, blink, or anything. You're just going to be trapped in your body as it dies. Your brain will be functioning fine, but you'll be completely paralyzed because that particular venom, tetrodotoxin, makes it so that your muscles stop working entirely, including your, important ones like your heart and your lungs, or your diaphragm. I guess your lungs aren't muscles, but the diaphragm that makes your lungs is a muscle. And believe it or not, there are also muscles in your blood vessels that regulate blood pressure. So if those stop working, bad news. So anyway, and the greater majority of the population of frogs are completely benign. Except for the ones that carry salmonella, but that's a totally different story. But then there's these toxic frogs. And boy, when they are toxic, they are bad news. It's the same thing for masculinity. Masculinity, being masculine, is not toxic. I'm not a particularly masculine person, so, but I've seen plenty of masculine guys. In fact, we've got a guy that's going to join us for our Friday night, or Saturday afternoon, evening gaming thing that I'm trying to start up, 5th edition D&D. He seems rather quite masculine, but he's also a complete and utter D&D nerd. He seems pretty cool, nice guy, not toxic in the least. He's still plenty masculine, but he's not toxic. And that's the distinction that Gillette is trying to make. There are men out there, sorry, had to cough there, who are toxically masculine. And they're the problem, because just a few people can poison the view of the whole thing. And I think that's what, these people that are freaking out about this commercial, they're not understanding that maybe they aren't the ones that are being talked about, but my personal opinion on the subject is, if you're freaking out about the commercial and you think it's, saying that you're toxic, you might be part of the problem. Because anybody who is not toxically masculine is going to understand the point that is being made. So that's my little rant about politically kind of charged stuff for today. I'll leave it at that. Thanks for joining me. See you tomorrow.